Hi friends, today we are talking about a couple of bold lip kits, and one of them I knew I'd be talking about at some point here. It's the Sephora Favorites Give Me Some Bold Lip sampler set. There are 6 products in here. It sells for $28. Not everything is full size. I believe the Laura Mercier lipstick in here is, and everything else is a little bit downsized. And then I realized Bite has put out yet another set. So I already reviewed their Amuse Bouche lipstick set, which I thought really kind of went more toward a neutral color scheme. You know, you did have a really deep shade in there, but you also had 3 kind of like light to medium neutrals. And with this set, this is their matte cream lip crayon collection, and everything in here, sorry if I'm blinding you there, but every shade in here happens to be kind of bold. This set is $25. You're getting 4 lip products in there. So I'm going to kind of chat a little bit about what's in each of these kits, show you lip swatches of everything, maybe talk about what I think is the better value. But I do think a lot of this is going to come back to your personal opinion and how much experimentation you really want to do. If you are into just trying one really good formula of some bold lip products and you like that matte finish too, I think you're going to be interested in the Bite set. These colors are really gorgeous. But if you want to step out of the box a little bit more, there are a lot of really great quality products in the Favorites set here from Sephora Favorites. But every single different formula may not be 100% up your alley. So I'm going to start off with the Bite and tell you first off a little bit about this formula. It's the matte cream lip crayon. So what you're getting are kind of like a skinny stick. I do really like this format because I think it gives you precision. Every shade is bright, right? You don't really want something big and thick and totally rounded off. And even as the points of these go down a little bit, I still find them very easy to control. I've had, you know, several of these in past sets and continued to use them, and I haven't had an issue with precision on these. Now the formula is not going to be as like moisture rich as those Amuse Bouche lipsticks are that I reviewed previously. These, you know, do go on. They have kind of an instantaneous matte finish. You're not waiting for any sort of dry down with these. They're a cream lipstick product. But the interesting thing is that even after they've been on your lips for a while, you can kind of press your lips together, move them around a little bit, and you can still feel some amount of creaminess. You don't feel 100% dried out as you might with certain liquid lipstick products where if you rubbed your lips together, chances are you would prompt some flaking or something to happen. So these feel really nice on the lips. They are matte without being overly drying. And the staying power is really good. I'll find, you know, I have a very typical staying power wear down with these. Obviously, it's different for everybody depending on what you're doing, what you're eating, drinking, etc. But I do notice the first signs of wear down sort of in the center of the lip. And what I like about these is that given that they are more of a lipstick texture, touching up is very easy. And a lot of times I won't even feel the need to touch up the entire lip. The other day I was wearing like the red velvet shade, which is a nice deep red. And the nice thing about it was I could just kind of touch up the one little place where it seemed like it was wearing down, and that was very easy to do. I didn't feel like I needed to start fresh because everything else looked really nice. It wasn't bleeding outside my lips. I wasn't having like a messy, sloppy issue. And that's another big point for me, and a reason why I enjoy this kit is that they're giving you bright colors in a matte finish. And that's really important to me because I feel like I can wear them with a little more confidence. I can wear this bright red and I'm not really worried about it bleeding, about it getting sloppy or greasy or, you know, just veering outside of the beaten path, so to speak. I really think they made them as nourishing and comfortable as they probably would have been capable of doing. And a little packaging note here, this is what your products look like in the tin, and you also have a mirror here as well. But let's talk more about the shades. This is the lineup right up here, this upper row of product. Those are the shades that you're getting. So the first one is called Orchid. I think it's very well named. This is the one shade of the bunch that is limited edition. Everything else could be purchased in a full-sized individually, but this shade is like a bright, cool pink. I do think this is a fun color, not the type of shade I find myself reaching for every day, but it's really well done in this collection, and I think it's fun to have that pop in here. Next color is Fraise, and this is the one that I've been wearing throughout the video. It's a really nice bright red. I think there is, you know, some warmth in this red. Just one of those undeniably glamorous colors. I'm really happy that that was in here, but what's cool is you also have a shade called Red Velvet, and this is taking it down a notch in terms of depth. A lot of people might find Red Velvet to be a little more wearable. At first I thought I liked Red Velvet better, but now I'm kind of in a toss-up with these two reds. I love them both. As I look at the swatches on my hand, they do look kind of close, but there's no doubt a lot more depth and just richness to the Red Velvet shade on your lips. And then finally you're getting a deep dark color called Truffle, and this is a very dark, like black cherry shade. It can go on very full color and look, you know, have that kind of near black intensity at a glance, but then you really start looking at it and you're like, oh, I can see some berry, you know, some tones of plum coming through that, and as it wears down you will see more and more of that. This is the one that requires the most care in application to make sure you're getting it nice and even, and even though it is matte, you know, it sort of requires the most care also in wear and touch-ups if you want it to continue to look perfectly even all across your lips. One tip though with this, you could choose to blot it off right at the start, and instead of having that really dark intensity, you can lighten it up a little bit right at the get-go and have a very wearable berry type color. So that is your little bite kit. Now let's move on to the Sephora favorites, where as I said, you're getting 6 products in here, different formats. There are 3 liquid lipsticks, 2 classic lipsticks that are very creamy, and then actually one of these Bite matte cream lip crayons is included in here as well in a different shade. Since every formula is a little bit different, I'll just show you the color and kind of chat about what I think of it as we go. First off, we've got the Tarteist lip paint, and it's in the shade called Yaassss, and yeah, you never really hear me say that on my channel. I think there's a reason, but I think the best way to describe this color is a bright lilac. You know, it's definitely got a lot less pink in it than the lightest shade in that Bite set does, and I think it's pretty. I do also think that the formula of the Tarteist lip paints is maybe not my favorite liquid lipstick formula, but it's up there in terms of not being as drying, tending to wear off a little more evenly and not giving you that real flaky issue. That being said, it doesn't dry down 100%, so it can still transfer off. But it feels very light and kind of mousse-like as you apply it, and I feel like I get a really even application. And with this shade, and also with the next liquid lip color I'm going to talk about, neither of these really had that issue that I sometimes notice where after the dry down, it turns into a totally different shade. Well, maybe not totally different, but a lot of times these liquid lipsticks dry down and they look 2 or 3 shades darker than what they started or what they look like in the tube, and I felt like this one looked pretty true to color. The next one is from Ciate, and it is a liquid velvet lip color in the shade Head Over Heels. Classic hot pink right here. It is matte. It also has a very similar texture to Tarte in that when I put it on, I feel like it feels light. Now, after I wear it for a while, it's not offering a lot of extra moisture to my lips, that's for sure, but it doesn't totally suck the life out of my lips. One day when I was wearing this recently, I noticed the typical kind of wear down pattern for me in the center of the lower lip, and granted, I had eaten a lot of Cheetos that afternoon, but touching up is a little bit more touchy, I guess, with these liquid lip colors than it is with a creamy, more lipsticky type product. But that is a gorgeous shade. That's a stunning hot pink. And then you've got a lipstick from Sephora here. It's the Sephora Rouge Creme in R49. Now this is a formula that feels really, really great. It actually kind of reminds me of those Bite Amuse Bouche lipsticks. Super creamy. This is a very true red. It kind of reminds me of a mix of the red I've got on and the Red Velvet shade from the Bite set. It's like it's got some warmth, but just a hair more depth than what I'm wearing right now. And I do think it's pretty. It's ultra creamy though. Not my first choice for a formula to wear in a bold red, just because it is so dang creamy and I would be a little concerned about it drifting outside my lips. But can't take anything away from that color. It is really gorgeous. Next up, you are getting one of these Bite matte cream lip crayons. This is in the shade Aubergine. Gorgeous, true, classic berry here. So everything I talked about with the formula of what was in the Bite lip kit really continues to hold true for this. I love this color. It's rich, it's intense, but it doesn't take you to that near blackened place. So I think a lot of people would find this very wearable and a super, you know, fall and winter appropriate color. Next, from Laura Mercier, we've got a shade that is really, really close to this one from Bite, and it's the Velour lip color, or Velour Lovers lip color in the shade An Affair. And this one, I think, can go just a little bit darker than the Bite one if you build it up more, but it's very, very creamy. Again, it's a formula I would be a little concerned about wearing in such a dark shade because it just has that softness, that creaminess, where if I was eating something, I'd really want to watch it. Sorry I keep mentioning that, but that's just like the practical thought that goes through my head when I'm making a lip color selection. You know, this formula feels great. This Velour Lovers, it feels so nice on the lips, but it's just a really dark shade to be wearing like that, so I might want to even blot that one off before I like went about my day. Finally, we've got a liquid lipstick from Kat Von D in Damned, and this one is dark, dark, dark. With this in the tube, it looks like an intensely dark brick red, but I mean, it can look practically black if you really apply it to its fullest extent on the lips. I probably went, you know, 85% with this on the lips. I think I could have, you know, even packed on more color, and the dry down just takes it even darker. You can see with the swatch on my hand here, it's not a perfect swatch. It's not 100% even, but look at the spots in it where the color got most heavily applied, and it's crazy dark. This type of formula really does dry down a lot, even more so than the Ciate and the Tarte. I can pull a little color off of it if I'm really rubbing at it, but it kind of does lock in. Definitely the most drying feeling thing on your lips that I've talked about so far, but if you want that like 95% dry down, that is what you're gonna have to deal with. Not gonna be a shade everyone's interested in wearing, but you know, it is in here and it does give this kit some range. You know, you're going all the way from that light, bright lilac shade into a shade that's this deep and dark. There's certainly no shortage of variety in this kit. With one exception, I did think the two berry shades were very, very close in here, the one from Bite and the one from Laura Mercier. So you've seen it all now. You can kind of decide whether you're going to go for one, you know, solid formula or a sprinkling of formulas where maybe you'll discover something brand new in here that you just absolutely love. But this one is just a few bucks extra and you are getting 6 different products. My personal pick, like if I was going to gift this to someone who I knew loved some bright lips, like AKA maybe my sister, I would go for the Bite kit just because I know there's total consistency in here. I know I'm not giving something where somebody might possibly see the formula as uncomfortable or hard to wear or difficult to apply. This stuff, you know, if someone's used to applying a lipstick, that's pretty much what this stuff is. This kit has a few more surprises happening in there, and you know, maybe that's what you want, but I just hope that showing all these colors swatched out, showing them on my lips, might give you just a little more insight on what's happening with these bold, bright lip kits. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.